All heard of that crap that they pulled in New York, where if you idle for more than like 3 minutes, then even if someone comes up and snitches and records you, you will get anywhere between like a 250 plus to a $15,000 fine, right? And so it's just one of those things where these people that are recording you in New York, they get 25% of that fine. They're getting 40, 50, 60, 70,000 dollars a year. They're calling it get rich by exposing and snitching on truck drivers idling in New York City. And why am I saying all this? Because Washington State now is looking to do something very similar, and they want to ban all truck drivers from idling for more than 5 minutes, right? And so let's get into this video. There's a lot to this, but let's get into some of the particulars. But yeah, fight this stuff before it actually passes. That's all I got to say. Let's go. There are what they call air vigilantes that go out, and if they film you for more than 3 minutes, they will get 25% of this fine for snitching on you. And it's anywhere between $250 to thousands of dollars. NBC, ABC, they have talked to these people that they call air vigilantes that make $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year snitching on truck drivers and dump trucks and just heavy equipment. And it just sucks, right? So, and that's New York City, which is this small. Now, Washington State is thinking about doing the same thing and fining you $1,000 for idling for 5 minutes. So let's get into this right here. These are the topics we need to talk about, and you need to talk to your local officials if you live out in Washington and tell them that you do not want this. And if you do, then leave it alone. But I don't want to hear complaining about it later, because I want to give you the information before they actually make a rule out of this. It says here, Washington State lawmakers are considering a bill that would fine truckers hundreds of dollars for idling a semi-truck for 5 minutes or more. This bill is called Senate Bill 6304, sponsored by Washington State Senator Marco Liaz. Would forbid any diesel-fueled commercial motor vehicle to idle for more than 5 consecutive minutes at any location. And we all know how big Washington State is. So, New York, yeah, cut that island out and it's this small. But for the whole state of Washington, that's crazy. It says the bill would allow for fines ranging from $300 to $1,000 per violation per day. Now they didn't say anything about these air vigilantes, because in New York, that fine, if you snitch on them and you videotape and record them, you actually get 25% of that fine that you get to keep for yourself, right? So Washington State hasn't made that rule yet, but I'm sure if it was working in New York, they're going to think about doing the same thing here. It says the bill would also restrict the use of diesel-fueled auxiliary power systems for more than 5 minutes at any location within 100 feet of a restricted area, which would include individual, multifamily housing units, schools, hotels, motels, hospitals, senior care facilities, or child care facilities. So if you have a diesel APU, you're screwed, right? The bill defines diesel-fueled auxiliary power systems as any device that's permanently dedicated to the vehicle on which it is installed and provides electrical, mechanical, or thermal energy to the primal diesel engines, truck cab, or sleeper berth, a bus passenger compartment, or any other commercial vehicle cab as an alternative to idling the primary diesel engine. So again, they're not saying anything about the reefers so far. They're talking about inside the cab, but I can see that being something. So, Mutha Truckers, just be on the lookout for this. They say if this is passed, this will go into effect January 2nd of 2025. Now, they're saying here, quote unquote, the legislator finds the idling of vehicles, particularly commercial vehicles, contributes significantly to air quality concerns and greenhouse gas emissions in the state. These impacts particularly impact overburdened communities and vulnerable populations, as commercial truck routes are often located at these communities. So they think that, of course, they want you to go electric, right? And we already know that that's the standpoint that they want, but you need to talk to your local officials if you want this or not. And I'm thinking that you probably don't if you're a truck driver, right?